At Total Pharmacy Care, we fill your prescriptions and answer any questions about your medications. No distractions and no long lines. Tell your doctor to send your prescriptions to Total Pharmacy Care. Welcome back to the Bank On It Podcast, episode 34, and there's only one way to go for me on 34.
I'm interested.
Bo Jackson, the greatest athlete
That's
of
where
all
I was
time.
going this week, too. I thought everybody was going to go Shaq. Bo was always my favorite, so I was going to go Bo. That's scary. We had the same thought.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to keep it a little more mainstream, considering.
Here's a little trivia for you. What team did Bo's football career come to an end to while he was playing?
The Raiders, right?
He was playing for the Raiders, but what team ended his career?
The Bengals.
The Bengals.
Yeah. By the way,
terrible.
Such a powerful runner basically pulled his hip out of socket.
He was too strong for his own good.
It's unbelievable. And probably never was in a weight room his entire life.
Growing up, hearing the stories of Bo Jackson is what made Bo Jackson. Like, you always, as a kid, you would hear he could hit a home run that was 500, 600 feet. He could do something barehanded. He could outrun a deer. I mean,
had an
these
arm
crazy
like an
stories.
absolute cannon.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the last mythical sports figure out there.
I think so.
I mean, maybe that's just because we're adults now.
Yeah,
We don't
well,
see
that was
them
pre-internet, pre-all that stuff, so it was a word-of-mouth type of deal.
You heard
and
about
the stories got crazier and crazier as you heard them over the years, like all the things he could do.
It's unbelievable. Anyway, shout out to Bo Jackson, joined as always by regional sports editor Randy White, Corey Vance behind the camera, and a special intern Rachel Lucas also sitting off to the side. Welcome back, and we're sponsored as always by the city of Pikeville. Go check out their website, see everything that's going on this summer at www.visitpikeville.com.
We also are brought to you by Presbyterian Homes of Cedar Creek and Good Shepherd at Phelps. If you are looking for quality care for loved ones, look no further than Presbyterian Homes of Cedar Creek and Good Shepherd at Phelps. Both facilities treat your loved ones with care and respect. They offer therapy, daily activities, exquisite cuisine, and home-like settings to make your family members feel at home. Call to schedule an appointment today. At Cedar Creek, call Jessica Thacker at 432-8243, and at Good Shepherd, call 456-8725. Caring for your loved ones is what we do best.
And the state baseball tournament just ended. The last mountain team that was kind of hanging around was the Hazard Bulldogs. Credit to them for getting that far along, but came up against a tough Trinity team. And
Yeah, Trinity, the number one team going into the tournament. They won that game 13-0. But, you got to look at what Hazard was up against. Rain delay after they were supposed to play that game Thursday night. It didn't get played till Friday evening. It was supposed to start again Friday morning at 11. Had to delay it again at 1. Had to delay it again until 4. Finally, about around 4:35ish, it got underway. So they were up against the wall with the rain and all that, the travel. So nothing for Hazard to hang their head on. They just ran into a buzzsaw of a team, a great Trinity team. Even though Trinity won that game when we're number one, it's such tough competition.
Yeah.
They didn't even win it. Tate's Creek ended up winning the state championship.
Right, and then we talk about it all the time on here. It just goes to show you, once tournament time comes around, all bets are off.
All bets are off. Throw the records out the door. Whoever shows up that day is probably going to win.
Yeah. So congratulations to the Hazard Bulldogs for making it that far. And then, I'm sure we'll see some of their players on the coming all-mountain teams that'll be coming out in the weeks to come for both baseball and softball.
Yep.
So we got a special article and addition to the upcoming newspaper about Father's Day.
Yeah, so what we're doing this week is with Father's Day coming up Sunday, we're taking each edition and we're going to look at a coaching situation involving a father or a daughter or a father and son combination. So in today's News Express, the first one is Dodo Rowe and Cassidy up at Shelby Valley.
Right.
And we want to say get well to Cassidy. After we did this story, 2 days later she blew out her other ACL after coming back from an ACL last year. And it just kind of talks about her recovery from last time and, her relationship with her father and how coaching kind of that dynamic.
Right.
Then up on Thursday, we got Brandy Jo Howard and Steve Howard, the Pikeville's head softball coach, and her assistant is her father. So we're looking at that dynamic as well. And kind of like how he used to coach her, and now she's the assistant, and he's kind of helping her. So it was a great little discussion and interview there. And then we're going to end it with the weekend paper talking to Chris McNamee, who's going to be coaching his son Isaac. He's coached him last year at the high school level, but he also coached his son Andrew. We talk about Andrew some, and we even talk about how he followed his daughter's career through Pikeville and all that. So just some great Father's Day features coming up, and I think the readers and the watchers, the people who view this episode, are going to be pleasantly surprised by these feature stories.
Yeah, lots of cool stories to look out for. So make sure you're checking those out in the Appalachian newspapers.
Well, it's something that, as a coach, you have to do. You have to make sure that, while she's on the floor, she's a coach. She's a player. I'm a coach. Once we're done with that, then I become a dad.
Yeah.
I'm not a critic.
Yeah.
A lot of them become critics. I'm not a critic. We don't talk about basketball after a ball game. Well, over the years, when she first started, I felt like she was going to be a good player. But the drive and the passion she's shown over the years since then has been just amazing to me. I mean, she's never satisfied with being that kid. She wants to get better every single night. She's always watching videos, and she comes to me and she says, I want to do this. And it's things, that I felt like, she might have a hard time doing, but she'll come to the gym and she will work until she gets it down. So it's been a lot of fun watching her progress as a player, and even more as a person. She's matured, and she's become that leader that I need. You have a lot of kids that are point guards and do a really good job, but you have very few point guards that study the game, Randy. Cassidy's one of those kids that studies the game. After a game, she's not satisfied. Win or lose, she's not satisfied. What did I do wrong? She wants to fix whatever she did wrong and build on what she did right. And it's a lot of fun during ball games because a lot of times I'll sit back, and when I should call a timeout, I'll say, I'm going to let her play. And she, more than not, she makes the right play. We have always been close, but the game of basketball has brought us closer than probably either of us can ever imagine. The relationship we have is not just father and daughter, coach, player. It's also a friendship that goes way beyond that. The things that we talk about outside of basketball, the things we talk about on the court, we can relate to each other in a positive manner, and she knows I trust her, and I feel like she trusts me. Made me very proud. Last year she was mature enough to understand, I've got the offer that I want, and I want to go ahead and let them know I want to be there. So the maturity level speaks volumes for that. And she had the opportunity when she did come in. We had other schools that wanted to get involved in her recruiting process. They were Power 5 schools. But like she said, if you get asked to the prom by your dream date, you don't wait for somebody else to ask you. It's been amazing because all those girls that play with Cass, they're like her sister. Matter of fact, we're getting ready to play a basketball game. As soon as the game's over, they're all going out to eat at Applebee's because they feel like they're family. You see a lot of kids move around from school to school. I don't think they can have that relationship with teams that have their kids. And I'm not putting any kids down because that's their decision.
Absolutely, yeah.
But right now, we have nothing but Shephard Valley kids, and they're family. I mean, if one's hurt, they all hurt. She did. When she's on the floor, the kids go back to their normal position, and it makes it easier for them. When she did come back, she pushed herself extremely hard because, a lot of people don't realize how proud Cassidy is to be a Shepherd Valley Wildcat. And she wanted to come back and help Shepherd Valley win a regional title. So she pushed probably harder than I've ever seen her play in doing that. And it was a tough decision to let her play in the regional tournament. And here I am, I'm a dad, I'm a coach, I'm a dad. It was really tough. She sat down and had a long talk to me, and I made a deal with her. And a lot of people won't believe that she was allowed to play in the regional semifinals. That's it. Because it's a back-to-back night, and we were not letting her play back-to-back. But we really enjoyed getting to watch her play. She was nowhere near 100%, Randy. She went out and she fought for her teammates, and she missed a shot at the end. But instead of everybody being down, they went straight to Cassidy.
They rallied around her.
They knew, you were the one we wanted to have the basketball, we wanted to have the shot. We figured out the other day, Randy, since Shelby Valley opened up, there has been a row, either playing or on the coaching sideline, every year but 2. And when you say the row family, that's what you come up with basketball. Even though my oldest son, he played football, and he was really good at it. My other son played soccer, but basketball is synonymous with the name row. And it gave us a lot of tears and gave us a lot of joy. And it's been something I wouldn't trade for nothing. We got 3 years left with my daughter, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
It's really awesome. He's a great coach, and he brings me to the gym every day. He comes with me, and he shows me drills and stuff, and he's just a really great coach, and I'm really blessed to be able to play for him. Yeah, he's definitely harder on me than everybody else, but Yeah, I'm lucky to have him always motivating me and encouraging me, and just it's just always. Yeah, I made it hard on him. When I got hurt, he encouraged me to get better, and he was always there during rehab and stuff. But when the season came around, I begged him every single night to let me play, and I'm sure that made him really hard on him. But I was begging him every time, but he did what he thought was best for me. It really feels amazing. Like, I don't have any pain in my knee now, and it just feels great. When I came back the first time, I really didn't feel good with myself. I didn't feel like I was quick. I felt like I was slow. But now I'm really starting to feel like myself, and I'm just really excited to be playing with my team again. It really makes my job easier because he's like I said, he's a great coach, but he's an even better dad. He's always encouraging me and motivating me, and he always wants what's best for me, and I'm just really blessed to have him. I'm just really lucky to be so close to him, and I think that basketball has brought us closer together. We always ever since I was really little, we've always went to the gym together. That's just been our thing every single day, just me and him going to the gym together, and it's just really a blessing.
It is a great feeling. It means a lot. And I knew automatically just in the interview for the head coaching position, I already knew who my first assistant coach would be. And he's been with me through it all, and I'm just glad to have him there by my side. I mean, his advice, and he's always been a mentor to me. So
Well, it is for a dad to see his daughter come from the small all the way up full circle, as you said it. I've coached her in Little League and travel ball. Most every travel ball team she played on, I ended up coaching with the head coaches. They pulled me along, and of course we also coached the travel ball team together. And that was really to help her gain some experience in coaching, because I knew when she was playing high school ball and then she got in travel ball, when she come to UPike, I told my brother, because he's been with us too, he's not here tonight, but I said she's going to be a coach and she's going to be a good one. And I just, not because she's my girl, but she's one heck of a coach.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she's a better coach than I'll ever be, because she relates to these girls. She says not. She says not. But she relates to the girls so much through her experiences. And you just can't teach experience. But it's really a good feeling to watch her coach.
well, I feel like softball has made us closer because, I mean, even though he's my dad, he's one of my best friends. You know, I can come to him for anything, but this year especially, we have spent a lot of time together on the road, back and forth, and after practices, before practices, it's made us closer, but just having him there, I mean, is, you know, building our relationship stronger, but for me to see him build relationships with the players, it means so much to me too.
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, I don't know how many head coach and assistant coaches have what we have.
Yeah.
Because we always analyze together. I mean, it's not just a meeting between a head coach and an assistant coach. It's a family affair. And she has the love of the game like I do. I mean, softball is, I mean, I just got a love for the game.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've been around softball all my life. I mean, started with slow pitch and turned into fast pitch. And when she started, it just rekindled everything that was in me. But for us to be together, it's kind of like that. We are intertwined and we think a whole lot alike. Sometimes we have some disagreements on how things should be handled.
But we can be honest with each other, 100%.
We're very honest with each other. If we think this will work or that'll work. And most times she gets her way.
Right, and just, you know, we had high expectations, but we had that because we knew we would be dedicated. We would be dedicated to this team, and I told the girls from day one, you have a coaching staff that's here for you on and off the field no matter what, and we just want that dedication back. And I had high expectation because I believed in them, and I knew from the start their hard work would get us far. And, you know, even though we didn't meet the expectation we wanted to, it was a really successful season.
We're a softball family. I mean, we really are. Her mom obviously hardly ever misses anything, she hadn't got to do as much this year as she normally would to. But my mother sponsored softball team. We had our own softball team back when I played. My brother is on the coaching staff, and I'm telling you, he's a softball-minded guy. I mean, he knows it as good as anybody. We're just all the same. And I guess for a 78-year-old, my mother, her grandmother, a 78-year-old lady, loves softball. She'd rather be on a softball field as anywhere. But the family affair thing, yes, I think it's good for the girls to see that you can, you know, your family can be in this thing also. And it's just been a really good thing, and you know, we love it. I mean, if we didn't love it, I mean, if I, you know, I'm tickled to death that she's up here coaching. But, you know, I'm 60 miles away, and my brother's 60 miles away, and we travel up here every day to help her, which she's traveling, you know, from Prestonburg too. Yeah. But I mean, it's worth it. It's worth it.
It's very important, and you know, coming in as a first-year head coach, I knew that I had a lot to learn. I brought a lot of experience from playing and coaching, but as a first-year head coach, you know, I was excited. I was thrilled because I love the game. But again, just having, you know, him and my uncle being there, and then, you know, we, Coach Ford, Emily Ford's dad helps too, just having an awesome coaching staff there was, you know, great along the way. And for them, just to be there, I feel like they're, you know, father figures, and just for, you know, the parents too. Like whenever I played ball, there's a lot of parents out there, you know, that might put too much pressure on your kids, but really just letting them play the sport they love, you know. And I think, you know, even though we're coaches and we hold them accountable and we have high expectations, we just want them to get out there and play the game they love, you know.
Yeah.
More similarities than they are any differences, because as a player, she was as hard-nosed player as I've ever seen. And my her uncle will tell you, I guess you can call it bragging or whatever, but it's the truth. She would run through a fence to catch a ball. She would do whatever it took to get on base, no matter what it took, and she found a way. Yeah. You can look back at her stats, and they were there. But she had that hard nose. She would work as hard as anybody, and hated losing worse than anybody. I mean, did not like to lose.
Still hate losing.
That's the way. It didn't matter. I mean, she played basketball for just a season or two in middle school, and she was, as the coach would call her, his spark plug. Yeah. And her defense was unbelievable. You know, and she hadn't developed a lot of offensive skills on basketball, but her defense and defensive players are hard-nosed. That's the way she is when she played, and her coaching is the same way. And I've noticed this year, I kind of watched her as she coached. I think she learned a lot this year with these young girls, and she might have changed a little bit, and that's the sign of a good coach. You got to adapt. You got to adapt to who you got.
Learn.
Yeah, you can't be stuck in one way to coach, and she's doing that, and I'm proud of her. But I'm going to be honest. Her best coaching job is yet to come. But the best coaching job I've seen her do yet was with that little team at Florida Central Middle School. That was her first team that she coached, beside travel ball. Yeah. Travel ball was a little easier. We had, you know, kind of like girls that's pretty good. But she took a team that was just starting, and I watched her up there, and I told Stan, and that's my brother Stan, and I said she's gonna be a good coach, just because of the way she handled the different problems. So anyway, the similarities are there. She coaches like she plays, and she could have a lot of slappers. She'd probably have 10 on this team.
But I mean, the apple don't fall far from the tree, so. You know, I'm thankful to have great mentors and just to have them by my side, because I will say it, right now anyways, I couldn't do it without them. And I'm definitely thankful to have them by my side, you know, especially on the softball field. But
I definitely didn't want her to jump into varsity coaching without me around. I mean, just in case. Yeah. Not that she couldn't do it. I knew she could do it. I knew good and well she could do it, because I've seen her do it out there, and with Robert Stagg, you back up there, she helped there, and she done I thought a magnificent job, just being an assistant up there and helping there. And I knew she could do it, but I wanted to be around her. And that's what I told Stan. I said, if she'll have us, you know, she would. I said, I want to be around just to knock the rough edges off a little bit, because I've had a lot of experience in coaching. You know, I've coached basketball too, but softball has been the big thing. But she don't need me. I mean, I know she'll say, yeah, I need him there. All she needs me there is just to say, hey, you're doing good, because she's got it. I mean, she's a good coach.
Well, I think it's a neat experience, and that's something that I enjoyed with Andrew. And I think he was kind of the test guy that didn't really know how to do it, and and Andrew and Isaac are a lot different. So the way I handled Andrew is going to be a lot different than the way I'll handle Isaac. But and Isaac's got a little more responsibility this year being a quarterback, so there's different things that I'll have to do. But overall, it's great. That I'm here with him every day. My wife's over at school with him all day, and then I can come here and be with him, and then we'll be home. So it's a great thing. Well, I think it's been fun this off season watching him, because he kind of expected to do some things this year, but he's really taken it serious. He didn't play baseball this year. He wanted to get in the weight room and have these guys out on the field throwing too. So he's put a lot of work in and a lot of time. And the good thing about this year, he's going to have a lot of people around him that can do things with the football. He's just got to be able to get it to them. Well, I think with me and my wife both, and having all three kids, and when they were all here together playing high school and junior high sports, it was just crazy running here to there. But now we just have one and to run after, and usually he's here with me. So it takes a little bit off Mom's plate, but it's been really something neat, and it's not something that sports aren't the most important thing in our household, but it's definitely played a huge role and kind of who we are and how we interact with people in the community. Yeah, with Andrew, we would Andrew's a little he's different than Isaac. We'd be able to sit down and talk. Isaac and I seem to we may argue a little more here and there, but I think it's going to be good, because he sees a lot of things that I don't see, and we don't air it out here, but we'll sit down and talk. But what I want to do, and what I learned with Andrew, is when we leave here after practice or after a game, it's not player coach anymore. It's dad and son, and we're going to do things as a family. But you can't help it sometimes. These things creep into conversation, but I don't want that to be the main focus of our relationship, even though it does play a big part. Well, it is, and me and my brothers, we all played here and enjoyed our time here. And of course, I chose to come back here and live, and Pike was my home, and I've got a lot of pride in Pikeville High School being from here, and I want my boys and my kids to do the same thing. And I think that they've enjoyed playing athletics here and going to school and getting a good education. So it's been neat being able to do that. No, it's just I've learned, and sometimes you want to go back and if I could have done it different with Andrew, and then I don't know anything about volleyball or softball, but it didn't stop me from harping on Lindsay sometimes. But but I've learned coming down. And I think with Isaac and Billy Johnson last year, he looked at me. I was getting on Isaac about something out here, and he said, "You better calm down a little bit. You're gonna." Force him to lose his confidence. So I've got guys around me that can kind of keep me in check too. And as much as I want him to be a great player and a great person, I've got to realize that he's a 16-year-old kid, and he's going to do some things that aren't exactly the way I want him all the time. But we can work through it, and both of us get better together.
And the NBA Finals ongoing extended again last night. I kept thinking in my gut that the Raptors were going to find a way to pull that out, especially after you see, it was cool to see KD come out and try to play. He clearly, he was hitting shots right off the bat, but you could tell by the way he was moving, he just wasn't himself. Same with Boogie Cousins. It just doesn't look like himself. You hate to see him go down. It's probably going to be out all of next year.
Yeah, Achilles injury is a tough injury. It's usually around a year.
Yeah.
But KD looked so good early on. He was doing things within the offense. He was taking the open shot. Once he tried to make a hard cut, you could tell and that's when the injury happened. When he tried to make that hard cut and that move around the defender, and that's when his Achilles gave out, which is you never want to see that, especially in a playoff series or a final or any game really. You don't want to see anybody get injured, but I mean, just what awful timing after coming off the other injury.
Yeah, and I mean, that's not to mention that's also probably going to throw the entire free agent market off whenever the series does end and all that starts. But, you almost knew that Steph and Clay were going to have huge games. Mm-hmm. Steph Curry, by the way, if you didn't know this already, number one, here's breaking news, real good.
He can play.
Steph Curry can play basketball.
He can play.
He's pretty good, but it's pretty – I mean, some of the shots that he takes still kind of blow my mind. He gets the ball out of his hand so quick, and there's no such thing as a bad shot for him.
And the thing we always talk about Steph Curry is he has changed the game or influenced the game probably more so than any superstar over the last probably since Shaq or LeBron. I mean, the game has changed. You see guys taking the range has expanded because of Steph. I mean, the way people shoot threes are different now. I mean, he's that type of player.
No such thing as a bad shot for that guy.
No.
And then, I mean, your gut tell you this thing's going to go 7. Do the Raptors get it done 6? Going back to Oakland, by the way.
Every time I say anything about playoffs, I'm
we've been
wrong.
so wrong.
We've
been so. By the way, we can admit so wrong about this finals. Could not have been more wrong.
I just want to see a 7-game series at this point. Like, I mean, if Toronto wins in 6, great. It's going to be tough to beat Golden State at Golden State.
Yeah.
But it seems like it's going to go 7, I think.
Yeah, I think it probably ends up going 7. I mean, it was kind of strange last night during the third quarter. Kawhi only scored 1 point. Super quiet in the third quarter. But
and the thing that we haven't even talked about, they had a 6-point lead with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I mean, the game seemed to me, like I said.
It seemed like they took all that momentum away from Golden State.
That timeout.
And then the timeout comes, and then it's a whole different ball game.
I mean, I knew the guys were gassed. You could see the Raptors were crazy gassed before that timeout. But I think the Warriors, it just gave them a chance to kind of regroup. And the timeout really seemed to benefit them way more than it benefited Toronto, obviously.
Yeah, and, as a coach, Nick Nurse, he probably is thinking that's going to help his guys. We got a little bit of a cushion. We got home court. We got the lead. We're going to get this little extra energy to give us – no, it did not work out that way.
Yeah, and no lead's going to be safe when you've got guys like Klay Thompson and Steph Curry that can literally I've never seen a shooter like Steph Curry, maybe Klay Thompson either.
And they're both on the same team, and they hit big shot after big shot. I mean, the 3 Klay hit late, I mean, that was a big ball game.
Yeah, it was a ball game. And, if I was, going to lay money on it, I would definitely lay it to go 7 games. I think the Warriors probably get it done. And just the fact that we're saying that probably means the Raptors end up winning the next game. But, for basketball fans, I'd love to see the game extended and the series end up going 7 games. So we'll see what ends up happening. You hate to see KD go down, though.
Yep.
3, 2, 1. And thanks again for joining us for another episode of the Bank On It podcast. We will see you next week. Speaking of Kevin Durant, episode number 35 next week. Just maybe who knows? So thank you again to our sponsors, Presbyterian Homes of Cedar Creek and Good Shepherd at Phelps and the beautiful city of Pikeville. Check out their website at www.visitpikeville.com and Total Pharmacy Care of Pikeville.